The very essence of leadership is having a vision geared towards growth and development. This is the similitude of Professor Taofeek Ibrahim, the fourth Vice Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, a man with vision. Al-Hikmah University was established in 2005 by the Abdurrahim Oladimeji Islamic Foundation, Aroif, Nigeria. The university came into existence through the granting of license to operate as a conventional private university by the federal government of Nigeria, license number 010, on 7th January 2005. Al-Hikmah University's vision is to serve as a forerunner in the provision of quality university education of international standard. This goes along with the mission statement to be an educational institution where sound academic knowledge blends with moral and spiritual excellence. From its inception till date, the university has witnessed 4 vice-chancellors: Professor Misbah Akanji, the pioneer VC, Professor Deremi Abubakar, Professor Suleiman Age, and Professor Taofeek Ibrahim.
The very first vice-chancellor of this institution, who in about a year ago was the immediate past vice-chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. Talking about Professor M.A. Akmanji, must have been, and he is actually a very resolute personality who must have been highly determined. And of course, as I came to know him subsequently, he's a very determined personality. There's no doubt that he did so much and so well, and he inherited a number of old structures which he was able to revive, renovate, and rebuild to the quality of a university setting. The second vice chancellor of the university was Professor Deremi Abubakar. His tenure marked very tremendous physical infrastructural development. My immediate predecessor, Professor Suleiman Age Abdulkarim, who is currently the Vice Chancellor of University of Ilorin, took further the efforts of the previous Vice Chancellors. He consolidated the efforts further, and his tenure also witnessed the emergence and the conclusion of a number of gigantic infrastructural development.
During the tenure of Professor Taofeek Ibrahim as the Vice Chancellor, Al-Hikmah University witnessed numerous landmark achievements. Professor Taofeek Ibrahim and his team of principal officers came up with policies, reforms, efforts, and decisions to give a world-class facelift to Al-Hikmah University. These including providing better welfare packages for staff members, ensuring a disciplinarian culture within the university community, providing better amenities for students' welfare, and most importantly, the inclusion of new academic programs in the undergraduate, master's, and PhD levels.
There are a number of other private universities that were upcoming, and apparently with the competition for student attraction and enrollment, we really need to think of what are other innovative programs that may be more attractive to prospective students. So I saw the need for us to develop new programs at both undergraduate, master's, and PhD levels. Beyond the 32 academic programs that I met on ground, today the university has a total of 114 academic programs.
The decision of the university management to expand its academic scope is in tandem with the original academic brief submitted by this university to the National Universities Commission. And you will recall that right now, Al-Hikmah University is moving to the third phase of its existence as a university. And this is why the university felt there is a need to increase the volume of its academic activities.
If an institution has no adequate programs in place, it means it's like having a shop without commodities to sell. So what this present VC has done and is presently doing is for us to have enough commodities in the institution in terms of programs, enough program and sufficient program in such a way that whatever program any student wants to run in the university will be available readily. Now, I may not be doing justice to my comment if I'm unable to mention that the able Vice Chancellor, Professor Taofeek Ibrahim, in the course of mounting the medical lab science program, he established the laboratory, which is called Anatomy and Histopathology Laboratory. To my amazement, when the NUC delegate came to investigate or resource verify medical lab science, one of the delegates, one professor, came from the East, and as he was commenting on the laboratory, he said that laboratory is second to none in Nigeria.
Part of the vision of the current Vice Chancellor, Professor Taofeek Ibrahim, is to ensure that Al-Hikmah University truly lives to its expectation as a university that is ready to service the community where it is located and the extended community. This Vice Chancellor resumed and met only one academic center, that was Center for Research, Industrial Linkages and International Collaboration. That center was in place, but the Vice Chancellor, through his powerful team in the management, were able to design a program that today we have 8 additional centers that takes care of various aspects of university activities.
Based on the initiative of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ibrahim Taofeek, in his vision, he believed that the university's internally generated revenue can be boosted so that the university can be able to discharge our financial responsibilities and be able to meet the requirements of payment of salary. And since then, we've been put in place to ensure that the Center for Part-Time Professional Studies has been performing well since inception. From a zero, when we started, from a 0 naira, today we can boast of having generated 185 million naira for the university.
The Center for Part-Time and Professional Studies has turned Al-Hikmah University to a university that does not know weekends. In fact, Saturdays and Sundays, you come to the university, activities, academic activities are right in place. Also, we have the Center for Entrepreneurship and Vocational Studies. This center takes care of skills and acquisition programs of our students and ensure that students who want to use their talents to develop in some other areas are given the enabling environment. So all these centers are there to prepare our students for life after graduation.
The purpose of the center actually is to give students opportunity to have an in-depth knowledge in certain vocational studies while they are still doing their normal academic pursuit. And initially, we started by giving them opportunity to take options. But now, as from this academic session which we are, that is 2019-2020, students are now to compulsorily do every academic session a particular vocation that will make them to be an expert in that vocation. And that's the program we are running now.
All the centers put together in terms of income generation, which has been highly of very high assistance in terms of income generation for the university, is such that from all these initiatives of the centers and other innovations in the area of finances that came up during my tenure as Vice Chancellor, the latest estimate is the fact that all these innovations and initiatives have, other than the regular school fees, has brought into the cover of the university over 1.3 billion naira.
Staff development and welfare are amongst the priorities of Professor Taofeek Ibrahim. Reforms and policies were put in place to ensure staff members were adequately taken care of.
Talking about other areas of development, when we look at the issue of other areas that we may want to look at, include the issue of vehicles. With respect to vehicles, before this administration, I met 10 functional vehicles, and as we speak, the number of existing number of functional vehicles is 24 in number. So these are other efforts that we have been able to make in course of service to this university. And the National Universities Commission expects that 100% of academic staff should be PhD holders. And the PhD holders are usually very difficult to come by. The National Universities Commission would, whenever they're going to carry out resource verification and the accreditation exercise, will not assess any institution to be at a successful level if less than 70% of its academic staff do not have a PhD degree. It means that for us to meet such accreditation status and to claim quality teaching, we need nothing less than 70% of staff to be PhD holders. And in this respect, we necessarily have to develop the capacity of our staff who are very difficult to come by at that level. So we saw the need to start the staff development program, particularly at PhD level. So that policy has been put in place, and we are currently supporting them to enroll in PhD programs within the country and even outside the country.
From the inception of this administration, 2015 to date, the staff have been sponsored to the tune of 175 staff, and this covered the teaching staff, administrative staff, technical staff and the clinical staff. We sincerely want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor for the opportunity, for the effort he has put in place, which has given every staff of this institution the sense of belonging.
In order to improve the well-being of students in Al-Hikmah University, the Vice Chancellor thoroughly inspected the students' facilities in person to affirm that the best amenities available are at the disposal of the students.
For student welfare, before I delve into that area, I think it's also important to mention that at the time of my inception, there are 18 departments in the university. And currently, we have the number has extended to 24. And whereas before my tenure, we had the number of faculties were 7, were 5 in number. We have the current number at 7. So across all these departments and the faculties, the student welfare has been a top priority, and cross-cutting across the welfare of students and also staff are issues of electricity. The university has committed its investments in collaboration with a few other stakeholders to investing in over 79 million naira dedicated federal electricity project that is able to provide us with electricity 24/7, in the sense that except there is a major interruption from source, we are always on the national grid. This investment we have been able to do because in recognition of the fact that university will not be able to function optimally in the areas of teaching and research without constant provision of electricity. And also, we very much know that conducive environment, for the environment to be very conducive for teaching and learning, we need to optimize the conditioning in the environment. So we see this as very necessary. And we have also invested very well in the area of water supply. Water supply across the various buildings in the university, the offices, the laboratories, the student hostels, so that there is constant supply of water across various buildings, no matter the number of levels of buildings that we can have in those structures. So these are major areas that we have concentrated on, and the sporting facilities is another major one. We have invested very heavily, barely from nothing sometime in 2015. Today, we've been able to create the open field, football field at the main campus of the university, and the number of indoor sporting facilities are up and running.
The slogan of Al-Hikmah University is learning for wisdom and morality. The institution is conventional private university. It emulates Islamic teaching and principles to instill discipline and morals within its community.
Predicated on the philosophy of the university as an Islamic faith-based institution, we hold in very high esteem the morality of our staff and students. And over the years, we have been able to hold this very successfully. We see that we must ensure the traditional university tradition and the value of the fact that students at the point of during their study and very well at the point of graduation should be such that we can really vouch for in terms of their integrity, in terms of their character, and not just in learning. So we ensure that our students have very high spiritual commitment, issues of ethos and ethics, of appropriate behavior in the society, directions in which we make sure that we train our students. The Center for Islamic Heritage and Community Development is such that it's vested with the responsibility to ensure moral values, Islamic culture, and moral rectitude.
In Al-Hikmah University here, especially during the tenure of Professor Ibrahim Taofeek, the Vice Chancellor of this university, we have put many measures in place to ensure that discipline, morality, and virtues are maintained in this university. Handbook of the student, what it says about the rules and regulations. It's either rustication, suspension, or expulsion. And since we have been doing that always, we realize that student has been able to curtail their movement within the university and outside the university, and to ensure that they do not go against the rules and regulations of the university. And that in itself has been assisted the university community in achieving what we call decorum.
Prof. Taofeek Ibrahim, I can remember in April 2018, he established this center in order to offer services. Number one, for 3 category of people. Number one, students of this university. Number two, the staff of this university. Number 3, also to the community in general. This is what caused our Vice Chancellor to establish this university, this Center for Islamic Heritage and Community Development. Among our activities in this center, financial assistance to our students. You know, some of our students who are suffering or who are facing some problems, so some of them cannot pay their school fees due to the death of their parents or any problems. At this center, inshallah, we take care of these students and we assist them. And alhamdulillah, some foundations used to want to give us some money, and in order to give students to assist our students. Let me seize this opportunity to commend the able Vice Chancellor, Professor Muhammad Taofeek Ibrahim, for the assistance and full support, morally and financially, that he gave and is still giving to this center in order to play their role.
The tenure of Professor Ibrahim Taofeek in the history of Al-Hikmah University worth recording. When he came, he reformed the security, which he's still doing. Uniforms were provided when we complained, and he promised to do more about the uniform. The greatest achievement is that of CCTV, which is ongoing. He has promised us that more number of security will be provided because he's very keen about the students.
Indeed, Al-Hikmah University had a tremendous growth during the tenure of Professor Taofeek Ibrahim as the 4th Vice Chancellor. Even a blind man can see these laudable changes. However, it is no gainsay that time is never sufficient in fulfilling the desires of men.
Well, as my tenure gradually winds down, I intend to see that the number of administrative policies that have been developed over time are consolidated and well documented. It is important that these policies will be put together, and appropriate procedures should also be well documented, and the structures to enable the administration of these policies and the operational procedures must be properly grounded. So I intend to put this into better and broader perspectives before I finally exit from this system. So these there are a number of them, and one of those that I've mentioned earlier is in the issue of staff development and the staff condition of service, the university law, the students' handbook, issues of examination processing and the conduct of examination and the processing of results are such areas that need further fine-tuning and consolidation.
As the adage goes, no man is an island. The collaborative support of Al-Hikmah University Council, Board of Trustees, Senate, and the entire university community made this Herculean task smooth for Professor Taofeek Ibrahim.
I most particularly start by thanking the forefathers, the founding fathers of this great university, who developed the thoughts to establish the university. The founder of this institution, Alhaji Chief Dr. Ibrahim Oladimeji OFR, FNAAP, the Jagmolu of Gomina Land and the Arogundade of Lagos. I must appreciate him for his thoughtfulness and his foresight of the great benefits that he for venturing to make this huge investment to establish the university, and for giving me the opportunity to be the fourth Vice Chancellor to serve this university. We cannot forget, and I cannot forget to appreciate people that assisted the founder in the very early onset of the university. The very first chairman of the Board of Trustees, the late Honorable Justice Mustapha Akobi, ON, who gave such huge support to the founder, and also of a blessed memory is the very first also Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, late Alhaji Ibrahim Ahmadu Kumasi, the former Inspector General of Police. They are very great people. They did so much to have brought the standard of this university to what it is today. And the foundation staff of the university, who served so tremendously, and they were the earliest crop of members of staff of this university. They did so well. They are quite numerous to be mentioned. May Allah reward all of them. I will not forget the current chairman of the Board of Trustees, Professor Idris Mohammed, who was my examiner several years ago in the field of medicine. Professor Idris Mohammed has done so much. The current chairman of the Board of Trustees. I've enjoyed tremendous support from him and the other members of the Board of Trustees of this university. And my chairman of council, the Pro-Chancellor, talking of the former Inspector General of Police, Dr. M.D. Abubakar, is a person I fondly refer to as my own Buhari in this institution. He did so well to create a very enabling environment for me to operate as a Vice Chancellor, and I remain highly indebted and grateful to him for giving this support. I would absolutely not have been able to achieve, along with the members of other members of my management, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the Bossa, without so much support that we enjoyed from the Dr. M.D. Abubakar as Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of our Council and other members of Council. It's very difficult to forget their tremendous role. Professor Okeshino Bashir Adekunle is one such person that I would live to remember for much of the support he gave, and Alhaja Sekinat Yusuf, other members of Council before the current one. It's been so wonderful working with such people, including Professor Mrs. Ijaya and a host of others who have been on council at the time I sat here. only God can actually reward all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. I enjoyed every bit of time that I've worked there. It's not been without challenges. It's been so difficult, so trying, but of course, with resolute determination, there is no difficulty and challenges that are unsurmountable. To all members of staff of Al-Hikmah, I want to appreciate you for all the support you have given, and to everybody, one must really appreciate all of you. And we thank God Almighty who has made all this possible and has made the contribution we have made here to be quite meaningful.